Jew, 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 Jew. Jew, 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 Jew. We're almost started here, guys. Just making sure. Okay, we're off. It is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023 AD. Gonna have hopefully a fun show, I think. I have some hurricane coverage to share with you guys. Some black stuff to cover. Shout out to the blacks. Do you love the black people? I know if I love anyone, I love black people. But there's this little cussing kid who cusses about his daddy, on the porch, all mad, and he's all sounding like his mother, sounding like the man's wife if the man has one, purportedly. Anyway, some other things to cover. You know, I've been talking about covering Britney Spears eventually. We'll see if that happens. That Snow White, non-white actress, too. Maybe I should just make sure I plow into those stories so that if we get to them finally. Ridiculous. Haven't covered that boy who did not die, did not go to heaven. So we'll see what we can cover. You guys can call in 888-775-3773. 1-888-775-3773. But anyway, everybody, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Is a Facebook crew here yet? Just curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Some of the Facebook crew people are parents, and I have an interesting story on a particular parent. But I am wearing my JLP-related t-shirt. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores is how you can find yours. This is on the Jesse Lee Peterson Society 6 store. It says, all thoughts are all lies all the time. All the time. All thoughts are lies. Are lies. The all is something like that. Nice. And it has a picture of JLP in it. And it is a nice sort of neutral mint green, if you will. Neutral, a muted color. I like the more earthy tones, right? Hey guys, Hake, how many times I gotta tell you? You ain't black, boy. Stop screaming like an urban youth. Nice. And it has no polyester. Come on, man. Brings that question up. The polyester question. The PQ. We do not support Well, I do support it a little bit. Just because some of those designs that have some polyester in them, they're hard to pass up. But they do. Polyester stinks more quickly. And I have worn this without... Maybe I shouldn't say that. I already started to say it. I might as well finish it. I have worn this once without washing it afterwards, and I'm wearing it again, and it smells fine. I shall not demonstrate, but I smelled it before putting it on. I'm like, I can tell I wore this before, but it's not too bad. It's good. Terrible. Before I get into these stories, let me get to a call, guys. Moving on. I got myself blushing. Sam is in Miami, Florida. Sam, thank you for calling. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hey, how you doing there, Kenobi?
Doing fine. Hey, good to hear from you.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I like what you were just talking about, but I you went to me right away, so I forgot. It's something about that Snow White movie. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes.
Or you.
Yeah. What was I just talking about that you were liking? Wearing a shirt?
Oh, gosh. There's so much, man. I just jumped on the phone, and I actually talked to Sean. I like the fact that JLP starts you guys off, and then you get these amazing shows.
Nice.
I wish I had him as a mentor when I was in radio. I was a mess.
Right on.
But anyway, yeah, so back to the, actually what I wanted to call about was that advice that you gave me. So good. Hollywood's in disarray. My scripts are getting looked at now. I don't mind being a scab, whatever.
Oh, right on.
Unions
So I
are
suggested
terrible.
my advice to you is be a scab, jump in with your writing
Absolutely.
because the writers are on strike.
I'm still waiting on the Daily Wire.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a actual physical copy of a script that I think that they would do justice to. I actually sent Nick a picture of everybody I want cast for it. And you would be, I think it's Sergeant Bob. I don't know. I took a screenshot and filled in all your names. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you that script. It's going to be laminated. And I don't know if you guys share the same. I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you in advance. Salud.
All right. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and send that out. And what I want you to do is place it in the crapper. Whenever somebody sits down, one of your guests, hopefully a Daily Wire person, they look through it. Because, I mean, they're on the can. So, anyway, look out for that.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I'm all over the place today, man. Too much caffeine. But that Snow White thing is hilarious. I was telling Sean, I can't wait for his show, by the way. He's got a nice way of talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was telling him, and I don't mean to get you off track, man, I'm sorry, that it's kind of fun to watch her. I feel bad for her, but she's completely destroying her career. You know what I mean?
The Snow White gal?
Like with all this woke stuff.
Yeah.
And she went after Gina Carano.
Oh.
And, yeah, I was talking to her.
That's another actress woman, right? Gina Carano.
Yeah.
She got canceled or something like that, and she went to Daily Wire?
Yeah. So do you have time for a super quick story, and then I'll let you get back to what you're doing?
Go for it.
Okay, so I called Gina Carano's agent, and I was like, man, I can't wait to have this stuff on the Daily Wire because they're really building an audience. Like, they're the new Hollywood. And so, I kind of took a liking to her work and Bill Burr and all them on that show. What happened is that Snow White gal, she really went after her for that beep, bop, boop thing, as far as the him, her, and all that stuff from the woke days.
I don't know what you're talking. I don't really know the story of Gina Carano. I just know that she was somewhat non-liberal. And so they blacklisted her for not being communist enough.
Totally. And what she did was, because I do talk to the Daily Wire.
Carano.
That's where I want my work, right? I don't really want it in secular Hollywood. I'm done with them. I'm done with projects with them. I'm still IMDb, but I'm just burned out. So anyway, what happened with her is she got canned from the Star Wars series. They were going to make a show just about her.
Oh.
And she said some stuff on Twitter or something. I don't know why celebrities go on there, but she just mentioned something about how the elections are rigged I'm paraphrasing here. But what happened is they canceled her, and then she put beep, bop, boop as her pronouns because she's on Star Wars, and that was what R2-D2, the noises.
Right.
So this Snow White gal I just read today, she basically went after her on Twitter or one of these other things. I don't remember exactly, but it was
beep,
just
bop, boop.
terrible.
She put beep, bop, boop for her
Pronouns.
Gender,
Hilarious.
gender pronouns on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Hilarious. So anyways, so then Disney's like, okay, we've had enough. Meanwhile, this Rachel, whomever that you're going to be talking about, she goes around slamming Snow White, which is basically how Disney, he had to mortgage his house to get that movie made. And here she is, oh yeah, it's so dated, and the heroines and all this crap. Well, Snow White, I mean, she was kind of a heroine. She got the dwarves to wash their hands. She kind of told them what to do. There was a queen in that movie that was in charge. So it's ridiculous. But anyway, so it's fun that Gina Carano was offered her job. And again, this is just what I understand from it. And she said no. And you know that Disney offered a shitload of money to her.
Amen.
And she's
Sam,
like, yeah.
Sam, remember, it's a children's friendly show.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
You know where that word comes from, right? Yeah. Stack high in transit. I don't know how it became a bad word. Yeah.
I mean,
back in the day,
the same way the B word became a bad word, the feminists came in and started to control our language.
Crapper. Poor
Same
John
thing.
Crapper. Yeah. He invented the modern toilet. The GIs would sit on there, and
Terrible, man.
Anyway, same with fornicate under command of the king, but I'm all over the board, man. You got other callers. You got a great show to do.
Appreciate it, Sam.
And, look in the mail. I like sending you guys weird SHIT sometimes.
Okay.
Figuratively speaking, of course. But, I can't wait to hear about this Snow White thing. God bless her. Maybe she'll find Jesus if she hasn't already. And, she'll make a great McDonald's worker, whereas Gina will continue to direct. And shout out to Gina. Shout out to my wife, especially.
All right, man.
So,
take care.
God bless you, my friend.
All right.
Say hi to Hassan and the whole crew.
All right. Will do, man. Bye.
I'm out of breath. I've been rattling on for a while.
All right. Bye. Sam from Miami, Florida. Let me tell you a little bit about, he brought up that gal. Spoiler alert, posted that in the chat. Gina Carano. In late 2020, Carano clashed with activists on Twitter, this actress woman, who criticized her lack of public support for the evil Black Lives Matter movement, leading to accusations of racism. Weeks later, after facing calls from some fans to put her gender pronouns in her Twitter profile, she added the words beep, bop, boop, which led to accusations of transphobia. So if you're not communist enough and satanic enough and female-minded liberal female, in her case, enough, then, and you start horsing around a little bit, then you get attacked. She later apologized and removed the beep, bop, boop, saying the Mandalorian actor, so she apologized like a woman. The Mandalorian actor Pedro Pascal helped her understand the use of preferred pronouns. Terrible. That was in late 2020. In February 2021, she shared an Instagram post that compared hating someone for their political views to the persecution of Jews during the Holocaust. Sounds about the same. Including an image taken during the Lviv pogroms, which was the communist thing, right? Communist? Many critics interpreted the post as comparing American conservatives to Jews in Nazi Germany. So Lucasfilms they gave her the boot. No longer an employee of the company. Her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. How did she denigrate that? I don't know. They didn't mention any of that. Her posting of a series of tweets in which she mocked the use of face masks during the China virus scamdemic in the United States, also cited by Lucasfilm. So in other words, she was like kind of a normal person, maybe a little too outspoken for her own good. Maybe she should have known better, don't know. As well as her repeated belief of voter shenanigans during the 2020 presidential election. So in other words, she's kind of a normal person, and she got ousted. Crazy. Pedro Pascal. Jose Pedro Balmaceda Pascal. Chilean and American, quote-unquote, actor. 48 years old, believing in the preferred pronouns mess. What a shame. Living in their own world. That's Holly weird for you. So sick. So wrong. Before I get to more calls, hang tight, callers. Let me share with you, since we brought it up, this Snow White woman accusing the prince of being a stalker. But I've had this forever. Clip 13. Is it in the folder? I think it is. End Wokeness tweeted this out. It just gets worse and worse. The new Snow White says that the prince was a creepy stalker and suggests that all scenes of the prince should be cut. She's a walking PR disaster for Disney, so says End Wokeness on Twitter. Here it is.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Terrible. She's on an ego trip for sure, man. Great dude. Oh, no, don't do that. Making herself seem sort of mannish. That was from Extra. D23 Expo. Running her mouth. You know, in response, this was quote tweeted by a Fallen State guest with JLP. The Fallen State with JLP. Kaely T. Kaeley T. That's that woman who said that she was beaten by her husband over the head with a board, broke a cabinet door over her head or something like that. A Christian feminist gal. Single mother, or actually maybe she has a new husband. A stepfather for her child. Is it okay to want to be loved but not rescued by the prince? Asks Kaely Triller. Fascinating question, responds one Paul Dirks. Does the princess need to be rescued? If so, looking outside oneself seems to be closer to the analogical salvation story than saving oneself. And the closer stories are to the ultimate story, the better they are. But this is precisely the problem. Not everything is allegory, she says. We have a savior. His name is Jesus. Too many men want to displace him in that role. No man or woman can displace Christ. This was from August 14th, about a week ago. A little more. But the gendered analogy is clear in Ephesians 5:25, in which, like Christ sacrificed to save his bride, men are to sacrifice themselves for their brides. There's little male sacrifice happening in Christian patriarchy, so says Kaely Triller. Yikes, Kaely harms Triller, right? It's the women who sacrifice everything in that paradigm, she says. What is she talking about? Oh, maybe sacrificing her career or something like that? What is she talking about? She acting like the men are not protecting her, working, their fingers to the bone for bogus speech pay. Just playing around a little bit. I've begun referring to it as heology. Some of those Christian nationalist guys seem like they want to bring all women to heel, says some person who calls him or herself Lady Maga A7, Lady Maga 7. I've been referring to it as heology rather than theology. It's an identity crisis some men seek to resolve by imagining themselves as little saviors and lords of their kingdoms. And in order for it to work, the women in their lives need to be small, largely voiceless and compliant. It feels like Christian cosplay in many ways. Not my cup of tea, she says. I think that there's some truth to how these gals, these men-hating gals, hate the men, the males. But they get way into their imaginations. This Kaely Triller woman, like when she argued with JLP about what did you do to provoke your ex-husband, your child's father, to beat you over the head allegedly with the thing. She got into her imagination and assumed that JLP was justifying it. This was on The Fallen State a few weeks ago. We covered it when JLP was out on when Hassan and Nick and Sean and I co-hosted. I think Sean was here at that point. But she got way into her imagination, jumped to not answering the question about what did you do wrong. Man, that Snow White woman could have been mildly attractive, but she acts so mannish. Terrible. Ridiculous. Is it okay to want to be loved but not rescued by the prince? I think that's fine. But so much viciousness between the males and the females, even in the Christian world. They're not even getting along in the church. Her jaw is too strong, says Will Cole. And he says something else that I shall not repeat on here. It was funny. Lin Yen Chin says, Hake, why? What did he say? It was amusing. Why share your stray thoughts, or what women call intrusive thoughts, about your t-shirt that I said earlier this hour about how you can wear cotton more than once? You can really wear wool more than once. You can run in wool socks, and they're naturally naturally fight microbes or whatever that cause stink. Same thing with wooden cutting boards. You can cut on a wooden cutting board, and the wood is naturally antimicrobial in a sense. Hassan says future footwear. What, wood? Wood clogs? Wooden clogs? Nice. Some people wear wooden clogs, like from Holland. My brother once went to Holland, you know, the Netherlands. They called it Holland, where the Dutch are. Not to be confused with South Africa. And he brought home wooden shoes. Kind of cool. So it's, people use that. But fair question, Lin Yen Chin. I thought that it might be amusing to share that. Hake never stinks, says Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong. That's right. Just the polyester that I sometimes wear might a little bit. But I'm alert. Real quick, let me share with you the the hurricane came and went, except it didn't even come. It did not come as a hurricane. It came as a tropical storm, the first since 1997. I remember 1997. That was El Nino, right? Or was it La Nina? I think it was the year of El Nino, 1997. Because I remember being in cross country in high school when we had El Nino. Well, this was Hurricane Hilary that became Tropical Storm Hilary, killed one person in Mexico reportedly, and it came up and flooded different parts like of Southern California, like Palm Springs way out there inland, pretty far east on the way to Joshua Tree, or right around that area, right? Maybe a bit north of Joshua Tree. Well, it also flooded Dodger Stadium, or at least outside of Dodger Stadium, that parking lot that surrounds Dodger Stadium. And it's odd to me because Dodger Stadium is elevated, if I remember right. I remember like running different Chinese New Year races, 10K, the Firecracker 10K around Chinatown, and Dodger Stadium is right around there, I think. Elysian Park. Here's clip 21 from the, I think it's clip 21, from the New York Post. It has, it shows footage of it, how crazy it is. Check this. Yeah, clip 21, check it out. It's crazy. And I put the music in reverse because they're playing music. New York Post shared this. Helicopter footage from above, right? Duh. Where else would helicopter be but above? Crazy, huh? Can you see it? It looks like a lake with an island, Stadium Island, flying over the freeway. Is it the 101 or something? In California, we call it the 101 or the 10. Some of you guys call it the I-10. Or no, you don't even call it the. You call it I-10. Interstate 10. We call it the 10. Dodgy Stadium. To me, it's so wild because I think that Dodger Stadium is elevated. So it must have these walls around it and not much place, not sufficient drainage that the water cannot build up. Crazy. And then check this out. This is, I mentioned this in my conversation with Tony from California, and then I will get to your calls, guys. Hang tight. I am yes, you are no tweeted, who's going to tell them? And he shares a video from Jay, Munch for Spice. They out there in Hurricane Hilary, and they put 2 L's. This person put 2 L's in Hilary, but it's 1 L. Acting a fool. Crying emoji. ... Now, and then there's context in this tweet. Pretty funny. And I'll share the context with you afterwards because I did not know the context. And I don't know where this is. Presumably it's in California or Nevada because that's where Hurricane Hilary flooded. I don't know how many blacks are in Mexico. These don't look like black Hispanics necessarily. And I put the music in reverse for this too. Oh my goodness. I'm looking down at the video. Check this out. I shall let you guys see this video. Is this clip 22? I think it is. Let me check. No. Clip 11. Clip 11. Finally, clip 11, guys. Here it is. Excuse me. Okay, an older black lady twirling around. Another young black person. That's 4. I've counted 4 blacks. Maybe 5. Done a flip. Doing flips. One doing a acrobat stuff or cheerleader stuff. Swimming with their head in the... Swimming with their head in the water. And the water looks greenish, brownish. Show it one more time for posterity. For those of you who missed it. Hurricane Hilary. Emoji fire. Here it is. Terrible. Okay, so they're having fun in a neighborhood, in the middle of the street, surrounded by houses and trees. Jumping over a pole. Little kid. Jumping and swimming in the water with their head down in the water. And I wouldn't do that, but I was like, I am yes, you are no, is a Twitter user who said, who's going to tell them? I'm like, tell them what? And they tweet different videos about blacks and other things. And somebody in the people in this replies were talking about, there's poop in that water. Or that word that caller kept on saying. Let me not bring that up. It can be contaminated. And sure enough, there are readers added context, people that they thought that people might want to know. This is from Community Notes on Twitter, also known as X now, I should call it. Readers added context they thought people might want to know. Floodwater is risky. A little fair warning for you guys who didn't know. I didn't really know this. Floodwater is risky due to contamination from various sources like sewage. Sewer water is when you use the bathroom, and it drains into the sewer pipes, as well as chemicals and debris. This contamination can lead to diseases, infections, and injuries for humans. And they link to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. These are government organizations that, by and large, they should be greatly downsized, if not perhaps even shut down as a whole, or just overhauled with decent people. Although, find me a decent person. Not going to happen. But some of the worst people have infiltrated, if you will, these, or just, filled them up naturally. These agencies, government agencies, grown out of control. But they have some good advice. Don't drive in flooded areas. Turn around. Don't drown. Stay out of floodwater. You can have downed power lines. You can get electrocuted. Human waste, livestock waste. Livestock waste sometimes gets in the salad mixes of food. And people get sick from, these prepackaged salads food if they don't wash the lettuce enough. Crazy. Coal ash waste can contain carcinogenic, meaning cancer-causing, potentially, compounds such as arsenic, chromium, mercury. Whoa. Household, medical, industrial hazardous waste, chemical, biological, radiological, not to mention like needles and knives and stuff, potentially. Physical objects, lumber, vehicles, debris, wild or stray animals, rodents, snakes, wound infections, skin rash, gastrointestinal illnesses, tetanus, stuff that you can get. Leptospirosis, not common, they said. That's from the CDC website. Yikes. So, fair warning for those of you who might be tempted to be like that. Don't fall for it. So, what a mess. Okay, last quick story before I get back to calls. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. I gotta show this. Clip 22, Hassan. I came across this on Twitter. This cussing black young boy, relatively, high-pitched voice, child's voice, hates his daddy purportedly. And it has like security camera footage with audio looking down at this boy standing on his front porch. And Shannon Sharpie with 3 E's at the end. Shannon, Shannon, Sharpie. It's a play off the name of Shannon Sharp I guess he was a famous football player. Now he's co-hosts some show with Skip Bayless. Political / sports thing. Anyway, clip 22. Lil Man, according to Shannon Sharpie, this Twitter user, not the real Shannon Sharp, Lil Man was so mad at his dad, didn't say the word mad, as he walked out to vent. Crying face emoji, crying face emoji, crying face emoji. 41 seconds. I bleep the cussing and I cover up the cuss words because they put subtitles on it. And you tell me if you think that this boy is hating his dad with his mama's hate, as JLP points out so frequently. I can't help but hear it. Sounds like a black female wife if his daddy has one. Check this out.
Why my fucking daddy? This is dumb shit. I'm tired of cleaning this dumb house up. That nigga lazy. He better clean the game by himself. I was playing the game and shit. I can't wait till I'm older if I can knock his out. Shit, ugly. Fat ugly ass. Still be losing weight. Always eating and play the game. Should throw egg on his head. He fat ass.
Dang.
I f***ing clean up. I do all that cleaning all the time. Yeah. Dumb f***ing house.
And he goes back in after venting, talking to himself, talking to Satan. That child is already doomed, says, come on, man. That's mama, says Will Pole. Jesus wept, says Greenwall. Calling his dad fat, always eating and playing games. Like what game? Like video games? Reminds me of that Kaely Triller Harms woman. Kaely Harms Triller woman, whom I referenced about, is it okay for the princess to want the prince to love her and not rescue her? The woman who is criticizing the pro-patriarchy Christians, hating on them, not checking self. The boy is mad that his dad is playing the game. That has nothing to do with mama, says Farsights. So Farsights can't hear it. He doesn't hear... Doesn't he sound like a black female wife if his daddy has one? With that angry, evil attitude. So cute. The voice is kind of cute, like a high-pitched voice, child's voice. But it's not cute. It's a little bit cute, but it's not that cute. The evil spirit is coming through too powerfully for me to think, oh, that's just cute. I'm just laugh about it. And his criticisms of his dad aren't wrong, but he's mad and evil about it. Womaning is all venting is, says Lin Yen Chin. I was infected with Satan in the same way before. Couldn't you picture Lin Yen Chin cussing to himself, cussing to Satan? Yeah, I can't wait till I get older and knock his old blank, fat blank out. And most blacks still are way into their old age, says Lin Yen Chin. Yeah. It infects everybody, but it's like, the blacks have a distinct style for sure. Yeah, it's Satan, but with style. Not cute. He doesn't have the physical power to wreak havoc. He would if he could, says Alex Watts. Who taught him to talk like that? It feels like he was following an example. Haven't you heard kids where they sound just like their mothers when they get a little bit of an attitude, venting about something? I know I have. And sometimes the mothers know it and like try to put a stop to it. Reek like polyester, says, come on, man. Crazy, huh? Send that to the JLP show. Crazy. Spoiler alert, found the Instagram video account that that shared that video. Terrible. Okay, as promised, I got to get back to calls, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. William in California is on the line. William, how you doing? Are you there?
005.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Boy, that little kid sure had it pretty bad for his father, huh?
Yeah. he caught the disease. I don't know how old he was. I would guess between 8 and 12. He could be a young. He could be a young looking, very very young looking 12.
Yeah, he's probably about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's well. You yesterday you had somebody call in and said that blacks are doing better than they ever have, and
morally, too.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm walking around the garage and turned around, and looked at the radio, and said, "That wasn't said. Was that really said?"
Yeah.
No, I have to say no on that because black people that I know, I've got background in Texas and Louisiana, and I'm going to tell you something. I was born down there, and I can tell you, looking at my great-grandfather when I was a kid and grandparents in Louisiana, and then I got some grandparents in California that were from Texas, so... James, do you know I've never heard them complain about none of that woke stuff? None of it.
Nice.
None of that. And anybody born before 1955, you ain't got no business reaching back to that stuff, talking about you got a problem with the world.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
True.
You don't have a dog in that fight. You don't get to pull Emmett Till out of your tail every time you want to. I don't know. You know, this is stuff that's way before us.
Right. And we don't have the whole story, and it doesn't matter.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, blacks actually fell for the okie doke 2 or 3 times during the civil rights movement. It itself was a scam, but Emmett Till's mother was told by the leaders of the civil rights, I guess that would be MLK and all of the attorneys, to do a open casket.
Yeah.
After, I understand he looked like the Elephant Man. It was horrible.
So she was instructed to do that. It wasn't
she was
her
instructed
idea.
to do that. Yeah, same thing with Rosa Parks. They like to pull her out of their tail, too. She was planted.
Yep.
And so...
She was part of the NAACP.
Yeah, she was. She was planted and told to do what she did. And Emmett Till's father was in front of the firing squad for raping the 2 women in, was it France or Italy?
Italy, I believe, as I recall
we have a world
reading.
war going on, and we're trying to liberate these countries. Do you think they're going to mess all that up for one person?
Yeah. No, he allegedly rape and murder, like you like I think you said, rape and murder.
Right.
And I think they hanged him. But
they did.
Yeah.
Well, his firing squad or hung. But the thing is that you have to realize there's another part of these stories. Now, I wasn't around, but I could actually bank on this one. Whistling or hitting on a white girl in the state of Mississippi in the mid-1960s is just stupid. You're asking for it.
Right. And the allegation was that he did more than merely whistle, but
right. Well,
no
his
one
father
knows,
did more than merely whistle too, didn't he?
No one alive knows the truth other than God.
Nobody knows. No, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, it's pretty sad how this new generation, it's considered. I don't think you have too many callers that were born before 1955. There might be some.
Yeah.
But I'd say around 55 up, you kind of really don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't get to pull these people out of your tail every time you get in an argument. And your caller was like celebrating the downfall of America. It's like, you sound really stupid. And you're lying.
Yeah.
Okay. The stockpile of gold belongs to the United States of America. They have almost 850 metric tons of gold. What are you talking about, Tony? I'm calling you out. Will you stop listening to these storefront preachers? I don't know where you get this information and call in and talk about. It's okay to call in and everything, but why lie? And the Bitcoin and all that stuff, that's not taking over the American dollar. It's highly unlikely if you do your research. But shout out to Matt, the American Dream and Red Dirt Farm and Lord Grimm and Blazing Hogs and Spoiler Alert and all the men, real men. And you got some ladies that call in that are very nice, pleasant.
Yeah.
You know, you do, for the most part. You know what I said? For the most part, you do.
Right.
But ladies are, I like to acknowledge them because if they're not ladies, I just don't even just walk past them. I don't even bother with them because, I mean, I've seen it in my family. All of the girls in my family have a lot of beta husbands. And, men kind of shy away from that. You know, they kind of look at it. I mean, I know that's my cousin, bro, but do you really need your wife to be running you and over-talking you and everybody? Do something with that.
Yeah.
You know, a woman, I don't know. That's a female. And ladies are hard to come by, and you do have a lot of ladies that call in. And shout out to them.
Yeah, indeed.
You know what I mean? Ladies, it's a very classy thing.
It is.
I
appreciate
the hell out of women.
Yeah, there are ladies who listen to Hake who are quite ladylike.
Big time.
Yep.
Big time. But, I mean, you have guys that actually have women that actually are, how can I say this? It's like they're the voice. And he's sitting down, hiding somewhere, and it's like,
yeah,
you're that boisterous. Where is your husband? Because a real man will sit. I'm not going to put up with mine. You're not going to see her. You're not going to hear her. Not that she's my slave. It's just that I'm not going to tolerate that.
Right.
Because the bottom line is she knows that she needs a man to speak for her.
It's respect.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So a shout out to those ladies.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hard to come by. I don't know what's going on with this one out here. Some in the back east is a teacher, a black teacher, young lady, gave a 14-year-old student a gun for his birthday, 14th birthday. And she's sleeping with him, too.
Oh, man.
Then I sent you a story about some guys, they call him a monster, who attacked a female officer like he's going crazy. What's wrong with the blacks? What's wrong with the blacks?
Not good.
I don't really agree with women being police officers myself.
Right.
Because they can get overpowered.
And it happens so frequently. You see it in the UK. I've played clips from UK. I've played clips. Yeah. I don't know if I've played clips here in America, but sometimes they'll choke and shoot errantly, just like the black and Hispanic male cops are more likely to do than the white male cops. They're outgunned and overpowered, like you said.
Yeah, well, I think England has. They got a different thing going on over there. I don't know if they're doing it now, but they used to police just didn't have guns at all.
Yeah, I think that may be the case.
Yeah. But I don't know how people would celebrate the demise of a country that you live in and celebrate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. And there's no demise getting it. Those Africa, all of them countries that was named, ain't going to do nothing to this country. And the dollar is going nowhere.
Oh, you don't think it's going to suffer?
Highly unlikely, that stuff. Pardon me?
You don't agree with Tony's warning that we need to embrace ourselves?
No. I mean, come on, man. You even know almost 8,500 metric tons of gold is here.
Wow.
And you know where the most of the gold in the world comes from? Nevada.
Wow. Awesome. I did not know that.
What are you talking about, Tony? The number.
But he has a point. Like these demon rats and rhinos have weakened the economy, and we ourselves have weakened our country and economy. It's like a house of cards, really.
Right.
So, not that the whole rest of the world is all that much better necessarily.
Well, not so much. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2, 3, and 4, the most gold is Germany, Italy, and France.
Okay.
The people he mentioned ain't even close.
We'll see.
So that's the top, in the top, rounded off at the top 5. It's Russia.
Nice.
So
good for them.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And you know why that gold is there? It's to back up the economy. That's why you can't just print money.
Okay.
Like this money that Joe Biden's giving out.
Yeah.
It just cannot just be printed. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of listeners that know that. They're intelligent, very intelligent listeners that they actually know these things. But the demise of this country, yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
And what is he going to do when this happens? So.
Well, thank you, William.
I don't. Yeah. And you guys have a good day. Oh, shout out Men's Month, right?
Men's History Month.
Okay. John Wayne.
Right on. I've always heard a lot of respect for that man.
Oh yeah.
He was he was back when Hollywood wasn't quite so communist.
Right.
At least he wasn't.
Dead cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we call the airport down there in Orange County, the dead cowboy. I think you guys had a plane slammed on the runway Sunday or something.
Oh, really?
Is
that what JLP was referring to? He mentioned some near miss or something like that.
Yeah.
Happening a lot nowadays. Incompetence, out of control, corruption, and incompetence, which go hand in hand.
I don't know what happened. Maybe one of the tires blew on the thing. You know, that happens too. You know, they retread those things quite a bit.
Okay.
And, you know, there's like a lot of rubber on the runways and everything. So
yeah.
From landing. I mean, every day they got to scrape that stuff, you know. So.
Okay.
But, yeah, John Wayne, shout out to the men, shout out to the women. And America is going through something right now, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be just fine.
Nice.
We're going to be just fine, everybody. And shout out to Hassan, my basketball friend.
Yeah, tomorrow, catch his show tomorrow. What's your YouTube? Yeah, what's your YouTube channel, Hassan, that people can find it?
Yeah, let me write that down.
I believe it's Walking on Water Hassan.
Let's
Walking on Water Hassan.
Let's see if I can find it more quickly than spoiler alert.
Gotcha.
Wow Hassan. Let me see.
Hassan, I got you.
Wow Hassan, and has a little girl with sunglasses on it?
No.
Oh.
Well, tell him
Wow
shout
Hassan,
out,
all
congratulations.
caps. There's Wow Hassan,
all
lowercase.
caps?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has 14 subscribers. Make that 15. Walking on Water Hassan is is his tag. Walking on Water Hassan.
Yeah, thank you. Help me with that.
Yeah,
I don't understand the difference. What's the
How
difference?
you doing, Hassan? I hope everything's okay with you.
All is well, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm getting off right now, but you should. I was looking at a little bit of Kobe stuff yesterday, and I started thinking about you. I'm going to get off the phone right after this. You know what his starting lineup was? And he said he couldn't pick himself. You know who he picked? Magic
Will Chamberlain
as the point. Wait a minute. Magic as the point. Jordan as the number 2. The number 3. Larry Bird. The power forward. He actually moved the center to power forward. He put Bill Russell at number 4, and he put Chamberlain at number 5. And he says, I'm not even getting to Bob Pettit, Nate Archibald, and Pistol Pete Maravich yet. He said, those are my bench players. He said, that's my all-time starting lineup. Pretty nice. Pretty good looking starting lineup, don't you think?
There you go. I mean, I like that. I gotta have Tim Duncan in there.
I got him on the bench.
Yeah,
nice.
I gotta.
You got Bob. You still got Bob Pettit.
I've seen that person before, Tim Duncan.
William, would you say Popovich is the best coach
in NBA history?
Yeah.
No.
Who do you think's better? Don't say Phil Jackson.
That's just a regular thing to say. He's a good coach
don't
too.
be regular, Will.
Let me see.
Don't be basic.
You want me to name my all-time best? Oh, God. Lenny Wilkins is one.
I feel like my show just got hijacked.
Okay, let's get. We'll talk about it later. Call my show. We'll talk about basketball.
But could talk about it. What y'all call your show? We'll talk basketball.
Yeah, Bobby
all the
Knight.
time,
Throw a chair at you, Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight. I mean, I'd give him and Wooden as far as the colleges, like top 2. Easy.
This is all over Hake's head because Hake doesn't know anything about
That's all right, James.
spectator sports.
You'll get it. You'll find out who they are after they die.
Yeah, true. Well, thanks, man. It's good to hear from you.
Take care, man.
All right, you too.
All right.
Bye. Guys, we're approaching the top of the hour here. Yeah, so it's Walking on Water Hassan with 2 S's in Hassan, by the way. And the shown name is WOW HASSAN, all caps. The lowercase one is just a little girl, so don't do that one. Anyway, it's time for some music. It's Men's History Month. Let's listen to a manly voiced, right? At least imitation manly voiced Stavesacre frontman Mark Salomon. This track is entitled You Know How It Is, and it's from the 1999 album Speakeasy. I hope you enjoy it. I know I do. It's a more energetic, shorter song, okay? We'll get back to your calls, and then we'll have some more stories to cover and your super chats. You can cover your ears, guys and gals and children, and sing La La La. You can sing along if you know this track. You can go outside, shovel snow, plant your garden, harvest your crops, rake your leaves, shake the trees, sling your cattle, crack the whip. I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight. Nice white people music. Thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful in a sense music. Good to work out to, Hake, says Lin Yen Chin. Thank you, man. Robert Smith asks Lizzy. You know, he covered, you talking about the guy from The Cure? They covered it's not just Mark Solomon, it's Stavesacre. Drummer is a solid 7, says Ringland's Bing Bong. 7 means complete, so he's a complete drummer. Hey, Stavesacre, didn't Nick tell you not to call in on Bluetooth or speakerphone? Nice. The music dropped the live viewer count a bit, says Lin Yen Chin. Yeah. Understandable. Hake, you're too old for this music. Don't remind me, Steve C. Let's bring back Frog Eyes. I liked it, says Dan Clifton. Yeah, Frog Eyes is really good. Some of it, they cuss a little bit, or it's slightly maybe vulgar. It's not Christian, I don't think. It's Canadian. White people listen to Mozart, says GG. Well, let me get to Super Chats before we get back to calls, everybody. They covered, to finish my point about Robert Smith, they covered The Cure song. And I shall play that for you. I've played it once before on my show here. But I'll play it for you sometime. Maybe this week. A super chat from buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Some inter-chatter haters. Lizzy bought a coffee. No Sion for quote-unquote mod. All she'll do is block everyone. Laughing face emoji, sideways with tears coming out. Slanted. She's not cut out for the job, being all sensitive and whatnot. Anyway, good morning, Hake. Good morning to you, Lizzy. I love tuning in to your shows. Very interesting, but please change the music. Laughing with scrunched eyes. XD type emoji. Thank you, Lizzy. I shall change it up. I change it up every Friday. I don't bombard you with Stavesacre all week. And in the end of the show, I change it to Left Out. But maybe she wants an entire overhaul. We'll see. JC looks very angry on Hake's shirt. No, he's thinking. Because it says all thoughts are lies. He's thinking. By the way, as spoiler alert points out, easiest and best way to super chat, buy James a coffee. Super chat. By going to thehakereport.com, and there is a blue sort of coffee icon drawing thing on the bottom right. You click that, and it pops up with like a widget thing, and you can enter the details on the coffee/super chat thing. Just no more Chung, please, says John Frederick. No more Jackie Chung. Come on, man knows Stavesacre covered Fascination Street. Yeah, I'm going to play that. No, today. Play it today. No, I want to play. I feel like I want to change it up to something else, to Left Out. Don't forget what the song's about. We do have Joel Friday coming in right after Hake. So it might somewhat make sense. Ugh, you're influencing me. Anyway, Lin Yen Chin with a Streamlabs donation. Hassan's mother is a pretty elder. Such elegant boomer vibes. Really? How does he know? Or is he thinking that you're about your girlfriend?
This is Lin?
Yeah, Lin Yen Chin.
He knows a lot about me.
Lin Yen Chin says, Hassan's mother is a pretty elder. Such elegant boomer vibes. His dad must be a significant cultural icon to have earned her attention. Maybe merely for the fact that she's white American?
It's true.
Okay. Does he you said that he knows a lot about you, and so you seem to agree with him about your mother being elegant and pretty.
I do.
A pretty elder, elegant.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Lin knows, and I don't really disagree with him much.
That's extraordinary for such an effeminate, also known as positivity chasing LARPer who made Hassan into a rapper instead of a man. Whoa. Such attacks. Not attacks. I don't know if that's an attack. Oof. Look forward to you receiving super chats from Lin Yen Chin.
Wow.
Have you set up your buy me a coffee?
No, I need help. I don't know how to do that. That's when I know I made it.
Yeah.
Is if Lin sends me a super chat.
Nice. Thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Appreciate that, man. A rapper instead of a man. I disavow. Double check over on Rumble and Odyssey and D Live. I think we're all clear. Thank you kindly, everybody. Latina in Cali is on the line. Latina. What's a first name we can call you, refer to you by?
Oh, it's actually Latin A, instead of Latinx.
Oh, Latin A. Oh, okay, Latin A instead of Latin X. Right on.
So I was wondering, where the heck is, like, all the men at, too? The guy that was on the call earlier, William, was talking about, the strong men. It seems like the natives from Maui are a matriarchy. Do you happen to know? Because I would really like to see them, like, rally up against the governor and demand him to resign. And all of the police chiefs and I think it was the police chief that refused to answer a woman that was recording them. She was just, saying that they want to know the truth. They want to know what happened, like why weren't the sirens alerting them, and why was the water shut off and stuff like that,
Yeah. I think that it is. I know that a whole lot of Hawaii, the leadership anyway, is very liberal. There were early adopters, not as early as Massachusetts, but early adopters to so-called same-sex marriage, although there was a Christian contingent who was not in favor of it. And liberal means matriarchy, female-led, female-minded liberal, And I know also that you're right. You mentioned that the so-called native population, they may well be a matriarchy, effectively.
Oh, they're just a bunch of crybabies, son, just whining and crying. They are not even like, they don't have no balls left, man.
Whoa.
What the heck's wrong with those people?
Yeah, it's bad. I haven't really paid much attention.
They might as well just dig their own grave and just go walk in there already. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of government we have right now.
Stay close to your phone, Latin A.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. People are the Walking Dead. It's terrible.
Yeah, they're the Walking Dead. The Maui native are the Walking Dead because they're not even screaming and yelling, demanding answers at their governor and all the leaders that they have there. They are trying to get answers about, like, where are the children, but, we still don't have answers about, how many children are missing. There's already so many dead and missing people, and they're still just being way too nice. Right. They should be rioting like BLM. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that wouldn't do much either. I mean, that's their own fault because they're the ones who elected these people, and they don't pay attention. It's kind of it feels like maybe there could have been some better preparation for, I've never heard of a fire happening in Hawaii. Like, how does a fire happen in Hawaii? But
actually, there was a fire somewhere nearby, but it was put out really quickly.
Okay.
But the Maui fire, on that one day, so they did disclose that the one day that it was turned off was the day that the fire went off.
Yeah.
Fire nados, they're calling them.
Fire nados, like a tornado?
Yes.
But it's a twister, but we're filled with fire?
They're calling them fire nados.
A pillar of fire by night. That's how God led the Israelites in the desert.
Well, there's a lot of conspiracies about what's accelerating these fires because they're saying, the fire chiefs are saying they've never seen a fire spread so fast like this before. Maybe
because they allowed the foliage to get too dense. Who knows? I have no idea. Spoiler alert.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Latin A. Take care. Oh, what in the world? That's my bag. What is wrong with me today? Spoiler alert says over here, one thing I heard is that they didn't sound the alarm, the sirens, because they always mean tsunami. And the residents were trained to go inland/uphill during tsunami warnings toward the fire. That's what I heard too. That was the excuse. Crazy. Latin A is a woman? I disavow, says Rev Ann JJ. Yeah, I feel like there's some more of that incompetence and corruption. And incidentally, these are the people who pretend like they're the best they have the best ideas for what to do with the environment, but their execution seems very lacking because they're diverse. They are have this evil mama spirit. They are lenient, nice, and that just leads to more destruction. And government, they stay paid anyway. They're not fired. Terrible. Okay, now I can get to Britney Spears. You guys excited? Let's take a look here. Okay, so it was reported last week, the 17th of August, that Hesam, Hesam, Sam, quote unquote, is his nickname, Asghari, 29-year-old, younger, and I reported this in Hake News too, on Friday the 18th, I guess. Younger Iranian husband, so-called, to 29-year-old, married to a 41-year-old divorced single mother, Britney Spears. Famous singer, roughly my age, 41, you know. Already been married and annulled that marriage and then remarried in that same year and had 2 kids with Kevin Federline. K-Fed. That one, back in 2004, that thing split up. He'd already had a kid or 2, and then they split up and had a nasty court battle and over the kids. He got custody because she's so out of control. And wasn't she a Disney Kids thing? She was a Disney kid. Whatever that is. Mickey Mouse Club. Which I don't know what that is because I never watched it. Mickey Mouse. Something like that. Along with other females who are also nuts. Disney is evil too. So she has a couple of children by her second husband. I'm censoring like the pictures of her being slightly immodest. She's a bit immodest. You know, she sings and dances. This Britney Spears gal. When I was in college, it was controversial because she was relatively young, you know, perhaps even still a teenager or just 20 years old. And maybe even younger than that. Maybe it was during high school. I don't remember hearing about her much in high school. But definitely when I was at Azusa Pacific, I would have been like 21, 22, 20. She was about that age, too. And dressing all immodestly, we'll call it. Fancy voice. Her voice is kind of cool. Not, I suppose, mildly attractive. But she's just a nutcase. Poor gal. Crazy. And poor males who are blind enough to get with her. With this crazy gal. Well, there was a poor sap named Hesam Asghari. Nice white American name. No, he's Iranian. Persian. A model. A male model. And it's funny, too, because she's all being kind of normal, and he has this model look every time. She has, like, this normal smile, even though she's not. She's really abnormal, but she's just being natural. And he's, like, has this model look / smile every time you see. Anyway, I keep on thinking JLP interviewed her dad, but no, I'm thinking about not Christina Aguilera. That other woman who went crazy Lohan, Lindsay Lohan. JLP interviewed the Lohan daddy, Mr. Lohan. But anyway, he's breaking up with her. He's sparking that divorce, apparently. Hesam Asghari breaks his, not short for Samuel, short for Hesam. Breaks his silence on his divorce from the Britney Spears woman. Says he's asking for privacy seems ridiculous. So he's just asking for be nice. So the actor and personal trainer, I guess he's an actor and personal trainer in addition to being a model. Maybe he's not even a model. He just has a look. He squints his eyes and looks all like, I finally watched that movie Zoolander several years ago, how they squint their eyes. He filed for divorce in LA Superior Court Wednesday of, I guess, a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, citing irreconcilable, or maybe a few weeks ago, I don't know, irreconcilable differences. That's not a valid reason for divorce, but she's already divorced and remarried, so it's not a valid marriage anyway. After 6 years of love and commitment to each other, which they didn't, they separated July 28th. They haven't been married 6 years. They've been married even less than a year, maybe a year and a half, okay? After 6 years of love and commitment to each other, my wife and I have decided to end our journey together, Hesam Asghari wrote on his verified Instagram story Thursday, last week, I guess, or so. We will hold the love and respect we have for each other, and I wish her the best always. Split happens. There he is. What does that say? Oh, he was seen as a very positive influence, a bedrock for her. Because the gays hate her father. Her father was running her life, or at least her money situation for a while. And so she went to this 12 years younger than her daddy. Crazy, huh? I know guys who've gotten with gals who are much older than them. Not just the French prime minister who got with a woman who's like 25 years older than him, plus or minus. She was his teacher when he was 15 years old. Asking for privacy seems ridiculous. REDICULOUS spells it RE instead of RI. So I will just ask for everyone in the media to be kind and thoughtful. The two, quote-unquote, married in June of last year after becoming engaged in September 2021. They met in 2016 when Asghari co-starred with Spears in the music video for her single called Slumber Party. That happens so often. These people, nice. See, look at that model face. And then she's just smiling with her teeth all unnatural and funny. And then he's like, squinty face, mouth closed. She does one of those childish grins where she's showing her bottom teeth. You're not supposed to show your bottom teeth when you smile. I think. I don't know. It's sort of a blurry picture. But these people, they meet and they're doing something professional, right? Quote unquote professional. Oh, we're professionals. We can do a performance together, all fake romantic and provocative, and we won't fall for each other. But sure enough, they did. Or she, I don't know who fell for whom. I guess they both fell for each other. And I hope K-Fed calls in. He says, come on, man. Nice. And what else? That's happened to somebody else. Joel Friday's TV spotting. This happened to somebody else. I feel like different people have done this. That guy who fell for the woman who allegedly pooped on his bed. He was Edward Scissorhands. And Amber Heard was all messy with him. Johnny Depp. He did some scene with this one gal like a shower scene or something like that. And they were both married to somebody else or something, supposedly committed to somebody else. And they do this and they fall for it. Sheesh, crazy. What a mess. Spears and Asghari, she didn't change her name. Another bad idea. Allegedly. They wed for 7 months after the court ordered conservatorship that Spears had been under for 13 years ended by a Los Angeles judge in a landmark court hearing. All the gays were like, free Britney from her father, right? In November of 2021. So they got married 7 months later. 41-year-old Britney Spears already got married and annulled in the marriage once in 2004, married again in 2004, divorced in 2007 after 2 years with Kevin Federline, K-Fed, who already had children. He's a white male, purportedly white, I think he's white, male backup dancer to very famous people. Show K-Fed again. Kevin Federline. I like him. I don't know why. 48 years old. See, he's older than her. I know you already had a baby mama by some black female baby mama, Shar Jackson. That sounds black female, right? 2001 to 2004. And then married Britney Spears. Yeah, 6 children by 3 different baby mamas, children's mothers. Born in Fresno. Nice. Fresno, NorCal. I know nothing about this guy, but for some reason I'm Team K-Fed. Britney had 2 children by him, sons by K-Fed. See? Then she had a nasty child custody court battle. He got custody. Yeah, he got $20,000 a month child support from her. Today he has 6 kids by 3 different women. Sort of a fascinating story for Hake anyway. And you hear years later, almost 20 years later, Britney married as a 3rd time to this much younger man. 12 years younger, roughly. With the squinty eyes. A foreigner. Iranian, Persian. Does that count as white? Some people count that as white, right? Are Iranian? They're white enough for the FBI. K-Fed a mess, but he seems reasonable next to Britney. Says, come on, man. Yeah, and I appreciated this Hesam Asghari. He did the best thing for her by leaving, and for himself. And I appreciated his public classiness. So, nice. Right on. My friend, one of my best friends growing up, he Asian. He's so disappointed in Britney Spears, he felt like he could have saved her. I could have helped her. Terrible. Hake spent many days in research. No, I checked this out after reading it in Hake News. Hake, what do you mean? Was Justin Timberlake a backup dancer? He was a singer. He was an NSYNC. Anyway, that's the story. Married in 2022, separated in 2023. And she's been doing these crazy videos that I've been seeing shared by Still Gray on Twitter. What is she doing? Where she's like dressed all skimpily and doing some weird dance, smiling, looking up at a camera like she put it up on a tripod that's like taller, set up taller than she is. Oh, weird. I wonder if he approved of that or if that has anything to do with anything. What a mess. Wasn't it all gays who were like for free Britney? Mostly, right?
A lot. I remember
Seemed
a lot
like
of
a lot
fans,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they had her best interests at heart. So anyway, let's move on. Speaking of the gays, based teen, black. This is a positive black story, guys. Clip 31. Do I have it in the folder there? Clip 31 from Detect Clips, YouTube. Teenager receives backlash for avoiding the rainbow How's my stream? Press 1 if it's fine. 2 if it's awful, which you wouldn't be pressing 2 if it's awful. Press 3 if it was a little spotty, but it's fine again. But Detect Clips tweeted out, teenager receives backlash, and I don't know what type of backlash because they don't show it, for avoiding the rainbow colors, 'S, which is incorrect, on the sidewalk, 2 words. And I'm not sure where the backlash is. And again, this plays music, so you're not going to see it. But it's, I'm playing the music backwards. 20 seconds of this black teenager in I don't know what city, looks like it might be America, walking in the pavement that's unpainted so as to avoid the radical homosexual degeneracy, perversion, false identities propping up rainbow-colored not emojis, rainbow-colored painted pavement. Here it is. So you see this boy, this young man, I don't even know if he's a teenager, walking very close to the building so as to avoid walking on the unpainted concrete or cement right up against a fence. Right on, man, right on. I don't want to walk on that. It's spreading. Taylor Smith update, please. Hey, who's Taylor Smith? Taylor Swift? Right on. Right on. I have pictures of, speaking of rainbow crosswalks, pictures and screenshots. They've been invading every city. It's kind of like as if Christians ran America and they pushed the Christian symbols into America like we once did. Or, you know, symbols of these great old thinkers. And instead they're put in rainbows. Check this out from, do you see this rainbow crosswalks thing? Sacramento Bee reported back in May of this year, there's a storm. Sacramento is the capital of California, liberal. Storm over Davis, UC Davis. Davis is another NorCal city. Rainbow crosswalks. It's a symbol of inclusion that they want to wash away. They quote somebody as saying. By Rosalio Ahumada. Ahumada, a nice American name. And they have the, zoom in on that picture if you would, if you can there, Hassan. They have this crosswalk with children having to cross it. This is not the taking back rainbow that Hassan is doing. Taking back the rainbow for Christ, for God. Parents and students cross the street at a rainbow-colored crosswalk across the Birch Lane Elementary School. In front of an elementary school. Aren't you supposed to be like at least 100 feet away with your degeneracy? Isn't that offensive? Isn't that an offensive thing? Seems offensive to me. Inclusion means degenerate, says, come on, man. On Thursday of May in 2023, crosswalk was painted for LGBTQ Pride Month. False pride and false identity, right? City Public Works crews on Friday, May 26th, 2023, removed the rainbow chalk since it was not authorized and repainted the crosswalk. Nice. Nice. The failing New York Slimes back in 2019. This was under Trump. This is Rainbow Crosswalk 2A there, Hassan. The failing New York Slimes headline. The government, this was under our greatest president, Trump, says rainbow crosswalks could be unsafe. Are they really? Actually. And it's an article by one Emily S. Rube. Ames, Iowa is only the latest city to be chided in 2019 for pavement painted in so-called pride colors. But some experts say the available research does not support the Federal Highway Administration's concerns. A rainbow crosswalk in the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Seattle. They're showing a picture of that. The city installed several multicolored sidewalks in 2015. Just within a year or less or two or something like that of the so-called Supreme Court supporting the gay agenda to subvert the definition of marriage, which is not even in their purview. The 10th Amendment says if it's not in the Constitution, the federal government, it doesn't have any right to have any say over it. But no, they just impose the false mess. Okay, thanks for the heads up on Odyssey Super Chat. I'll get there. As part of its celebration of LGBTQ pride. So disgusting, huh? They promote their false religion. Emily S. Rubes, R-U-E-B, probably not a Christian, wrote ahead of an annual LGBTQ festival. And this is the New York Slimes. They're so hoity-toity. They put a period, after each of the letters so that you don't try to pronounce so stupid, so hoity-toity, so Nazi commie, not the Christian, very evil New York Slimes. Members of the city council decided to liven up a liven, more like deaden, kill pedestrian crosswalk near the downtown shopping districts, painting stripes and colors evoking the gay, non-binary, and transgender flags. Vulgar, huh? Ames, Iowa. Iowa! Or our, as JLP calls it. Who would have thought 50 years ago that a small town in central Iowa would be saying this? We see you, we hear you, we welcome you, said Reginald Stewart, Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion at Iowa State University. What is a diversity and inclusion department doing in a university? Sick, he said of the kaleidoscopic markings. Reginald Stewart. Wonder if that's a black. Don't know. Anyway, in February 2016, St. Louis let its fleur-de-lis and rainbow crosswalks fade away after the federal government asked that they be removed. Reports the New York Slimes in 2019. This is the federal 2016, February 2016. That's the Obama federal government. Whoa. Maybe there were Christians in the Obama administration. Washington's bright dragons and zodiac signs climbing the ladder lines in Chinatown, subject to federal scrutiny. Rainbow-themed crosswalk in Lexington, Kentucky, was said to create potential confusion for motorists, pedestrians, other jurisdictions who may see these markings. So their beef is not that it's degenerate and vulgar. Their beef is that it's potentially distracting for drivers and pedestrians. Government said Ames's installation could cause others to install similar crosswalk treatments in their cities, per letters sent by the Federal Highway Administration, agency of the DOT, Department of Transportation. No wonder evil Joe Biden put that gay in charge of the Department of Transportation. Pete Buttigieg? Crazy. Dong Ho Chang, nice American name, city's traffic engineer in Seattle, I believe, said his department had been monitoring areas where non-traditional crosswalks are installed. There were no reported collisions involving pedestrians at the colorful crosswalks during the first year, he said. There were a lot of pedestrian collisions at nearby traditional crosswalks. A lot of concern is based on a subjective nature. There isn't definitive research or cases. Totally barking up the wrong tree, you know? I have a picture of this Emily Rube woman. Ruby. She's a former New York Times writer. She's quit now. She's on this is her X profile, Twitter profile. Activists, known as so-called journalists. And last little rainbow crosswalk, number 3 from Seattle in 2015. A headline in the Seattle Times. Colorful crosswalks celebrate gay pride in Seattle, writes Bina Raghavendran. Nice American name. Not. As Pride Week in Seattle gets underway, Mayor Ed Murray unveils newly painted rainbow-colored crosswalks on Capitol Hill in Seattle, Washington State. So wrong, huh? Terrible. Anyway, let's take that trash down. Let me get to Frederick in Los Angeles, California, on the line. Frederick, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
What's up, Hank?
Hey.
You calm like a mug.
Yes, I do. I also have a
You
mug in
calm
which I
like a
disavow.
mug. Why do you have on a shirt idling a black man saying all lies, all thoughts are all lies, and you're calling rainbows wrong, having thoughts about everything? It's so hypocritical. You calm like a mug, man.
Crazy.
What kind of laugh was that?
A ham it up fake laugh. But it was, I'm amused. I'm amused.
Okay. What's going on?
You think
really
that's
worried about
hypocrisy? You think it's hypocrisy to call the radical homosexual rainbow like wrong and disgusting and vulgar?
Just a pick sides, period. You know how we feel about picking sides.
Say again?
You should feel. You know how we feel about picking sides.
I feel like somebody snuck and turned off the AC. Turn on the AC,
open that
please,
door.
if you don't mind. Oh, the door is open.
Ain't getting hot under the collar. Frederick's on the phone.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's hypocritical.
How so?
You shouldn't pick a side and just let God work his plan and just say, I'm going to be at peace with me.
How about if
you keep on worrying about
what have I
flag?
What did I say that indicated I'm picking sides?
That's wrong. Get that stuff out of here.
Oh.
I'm surprised you didn't grab your spittoon.
Oh yeah, I should grab my spittoon. I forgot all about my spittoon. My poor spittoon has been neglected from Hake's pretend spit.
Yeah. I'm feeling
that's interesting.
Some type of way about it.
You're right. We should not feel any type of way about it. But you may be taking the joke too far because describing it and saying that it's a false pride and false identity, that's an accurate statement. That's not necessarily just taking a side. I think it's an accurate statement.
But I mean,
and I'm okay with taking that trash out of here. Now, I do sense that there are Christians and normal people who are not for this evil, perverted propaganda, who overreact to it and do evil. I saw some story where some guy shot some gal because I don't know why, but a confrontation started out allegedly, according to this. I surmise based on seeing some headline that he did not appreciate or support her gay agenda flag, right? And he ended up shooting a California store owner. Okay, so this is from Yahoo, far left extremist Yahoo News, which promotes other liberal media. This intolerance has to end, says somebody. Celebrities and activists condemn the killing of she got killed, of a California store owner who was shot by a man objecting to the pride flag outside her shop. Now, I don't think that he shot her just because he didn't approve of the pride flag.
She was exercising her free speech and was telling him how it was, and he probably
you know the
got
story?
his manhood hurt. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we shouldn't speculate on it.
I'm sure it escalated. Yeah,
it escalated. Probably both sides did and said wrong, evil things, two devils fighting, and he
that's just crime.
Allegedly
just
shot and killed her. I don't know if it was murder.
Every day.
Yeah. But devils are fighting every day. You're right about that. So Christians and normal people who know that this is wrong, even atheists know this is wrong. Even the gays know it's wrong. Don't be angry and fighting. You're right. We shouldn't take sides. But I think I can get
I
think I'm fine saying, get that out of here. I'm just saying, I was telling Hassan to take it down because I don't like vulgarness being too much on my show. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vulgarness is not, you shouldn't breed it or give it a platform. Cause,
and I am guilty of signal boosting a touch, but yeah. No excuses.
And I checked up on that, what was his name? Ben he was Marxist you.
Oh, Ben Burgess?
Debated.
Yeah.
Yes, Ben Burgess. He had a good interview. He went off when you said something about Mexicans being racist, but he had to come back on when a caller was coming back. You got to quit letting these callers spread lies on your show, because just like he called a liar, William came on today lying about the gold and like it's in circulation of the U.S. dollar, and it's not. And you just let people ramble with lies and don't fact check.
Oh, well.
And they feel all hero and in their ego, and that's a great caller, but you just got fed a bunch of crap because the central bank got all the gold. And
oh, yeah, I was thinking about that.
You don't know what he's talking about.
Now, I was thinking that who really owns this gold? It's not not always the normal people.
Call them out. I know you put
that crossed my mind, but you know, so much.
Yeah, quit being beta. You got a show, and we're depending on you to be a man.
Whatever, man. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
Out, say it with your chest.
Yes.
And make Jesse proud. You have a good day.
All right, thank you, man. Take care. Hey, I hung up before the click. Whew. Yes, don't say crap, kids. Okay, JT is in Atlanta, Florida. I feel like I recognize this name. JT? Is it JT in Atlanta?
Sir. That's correct.
Hey, you called into my show before?
Yeah, man, I called you about 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Like that, yeah.
You're in Atlanta, and you're from Atlanta. Are you from Atlanta?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm the only white guy in Atlanta, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember you, man. How's it going? Your phone is really messed up, man. I'm going to have to put you on hold to get your phone straight. Hold on, JT in Atlanta. We'll check on it. It's all garbled. I got to read a super chat at least I think so. No, I don't see any super chat. What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Thatsob. I missed it. I missed these. Okay. Thatsob an hour ago gave a couple of super chats on Odyssey, ODYSEE. Shout out to the emojis. And he gives a bunch of emojis. One is a crazy one eye closed, one eye wide open, tongue sticking out emoji. The other one is laughing with tears coming out, straight up and down, not tilted. Two beers emoji, fire emoji, 3-leaf clover emoji, hearts surrounding a smiley face, blushing emoji, snake emoji, scrunched eyes and tongue sticking out emoji, laughing face sideways with tears coming out emoji, and zipped lips emoji. Thank you, Thatsob. And Thatsob also says, and I disavow this, writes Hake and Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong sitting in a tree, and then kiss emoji, and then another kiss wink with heart sticking out emoji. Whatever, man. Thank you for your super chats. And hopefully that's all of them. I suppose I could check the tips. I don't know. I haven't checked the tips section in so long because my chat is fairly inactive. But the reason I didn't notice them was because I was looking at spoiler alert adds the tips to the links and stuff. Yeah, I can't pull up the tips section. So hopefully I caught all of your supers. Thank you, man. Whew. Oh, JT in Atlanta hung up or disconnected. Phone was too messed up. So we'll see what we do. A couple more coffees came in. Riley JM bought a coffee. I have a handgun that I conceal carry. Okay? A handgun that I conceal carry, says Riley JM with the coffee. But I recently had a thought that I don't need to carry it. I realized the issues we face in the world isn't the physical, but the spiritual. I mean, there's some physical cases too, but I don't carry as much as I used to. I don't think guns are the answer. That's right. You're thinking, some of you guys think, well, I don't know about you guys. Some of you guys have called into my show. Some people have called into my show. Oh, just wait till they come to my door. Then it's like way too late. It's a spiritual battle first. That's why you fight the spiritual battle first and nip it in the bud, then it never comes to guns. Hopefully, usually. I don't think guns are the answer. What are your thoughts about concealed carry in public places? I'm fine with concealed carry in public places. I'm fine with it. I have no problem. I mean, it's concealed. I don't know about it. And if I do know about it and you have a concealed carry permit, hopefully you're a decent person. Usually you are. Or halfway decent anyway, right? Even open carry, I'm okay with it. I think that we should change the culture back to being comfortable with upstanding citizens carrying guns. Now, it is a little odd to see it now in public. So it's in many locales. So I think it's a little bit too much of a statement attracting attention type of a thing, or a little foolhardy, kind of like Gina Carano typing stuff on her Twitter and attracting negative attention and spoiling her career over that, or her job, I don't know if it was right or wrong for her to do that. I don't know if it was wise of her. Sounds like it may not have been wholly wise, although I'm not mad about it. I kind of like how she brought the devils out against her so we could see another example, as if we didn't already know, how evil Hollywood and Twitter users, by and large, and SJWs and the radical homosexual supporters and the Black Lives Matter supporters, how evil they are. But whatever. Meddling mama spirit. Don't overreact to them so you don't try to carry a gun in public and bring unneeded attention to yourself. Live a quiet life. But yeah, I support carrying it as the spirit leads. As the spirit leads. You don't have to carry it all the time, I don't think. Some of the gun guys do EDC, everyday carry, and they have like a concealed thing. They got knives. I used to carry a knife all the time. Now I sometimes do as the spirit leads. You never know, right? But in LA, you can't have it more than 3 inches. 3.5 inches. I think California, you can have it 3.5 inches, but in LA County or LA City, 3 inches only. So what can that do if you have an attacker who's fat? Like, you're not going to puncture anything. They won't even feel it. Anyway, thank you, Riley JM. Interesting super chat. Appreciate that. Do what you want, of course. A excellent, I predict, super chat from BasedAmericaFirst, buying 2 coffees. Commentary on solar and wind power generation. I reread some of his super chats on the climate and energy and mess yesterday, summing some of them up from over the past month. On August 15th, California state officials finalized a decision extending the life of 3 natural gas power plants through 2026, which were scheduled to have been shut down 3 years ago. Natural gas. Thumbs up on natural gas, although it can be, flammable. It's kind of the point. But received an extension. The Los Angeles Times states Newsom's appointees initially expressed confidence that California would be able to build enough clean energy resources by the end of 2023 to close the polluting generators. And I don't know how much natural gas pollutes, if at all. Maybe. California energy policies have been driven by hopium, meaning hope. Oh, I hope this works. Mixed with opium. Opium puts you to sleep, right? and not reality. Diablo Canyon, California's last nuclear power plant, provides 9% of California's energy demand, but started the process of being shut down in 2016. Gruesome, that's Gavin Newsom, has since requested an extension until 2035. Yeah, because nuclear is the cleanest and most effective and powerful and efficient energy creator or producer, whatever. Nuclear. If the green people were truly green, they would use nuclear. But they would manage it properly with white or highly competent and well-disciplined, possibly even POC people running the show. Not like the ones in Fukushima or Chernobyl or wherever. I don't know what happened in Chernobyl. Okay, so he requested an extension because he knows the power situation. We need more nuclear. California's power grid is continuously bailed out by carbon fuel and nuclear power as it relies on imported electricity more than any other state. Similar challenges exist in Texas. Texas is the largest wind power producer and will surpass California in solar power generation within a year. Liberal Texas. Failures out there of wind and solar during the severe weather, we've heard about that over the years, recent years, have been a problem. But failures are not limited to severe storms. During summer months, wind tends to die down in the afternoons. Solar panels are less efficient at high temperatures. Wow. And late afternoon rains reduce solar generation significantly. Also, the cloud seeding that he mentioned, put chemicals in the sky to reduce the sun exposure. Funny. Texas has 21 gigawatts, GW, of solar panels and 38 gigawatts of wind turbines, GW. But they have only produced 9 gigawatts and 5 gigawatts, respectively, this summer. Wow. Meanwhile, natural gas, 53 gigawatts, coal, 13 gigawatts, and nuclear, 5 gigawatts, power generation have kept their AC running. What a mess. So that's that hopium rather than reality. Ridiculous. Thank you for the climate and energy news. Based America First. Lin Yen Chin with the super chat over here says about the rainbow crosswalks. Those rainbow crosswalks, not God's rainbow, are trash in contrast to the original white bars. I say so because I used those bars to gauge my strides length and frequency in sprint training at the stoplights during my childhood. They are anti-black in skewing my sprinting, says Lin Yen Chin. Nice, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's double check over on Rumble. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Quick little announcement, guys. Check out JoelFridayTV. He will be live at the top of this hour, just in several minutes here. Several means 6 or so. Maybe 7. Maybe 8, but that'll be Hake's fault. And then after that, JoelFridayTV on YouTube. And then after that, American Anchor Baby on YouTube and Rumble at noon-ish Pacific time. Figure it out if you're in... Okay, all right. Joel Fridays every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific. That is 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Live. So tell your peoples. And hit the like and subscribe and do all that stuff for Joel Friday TV. He's always excited about his show, so do it. And then American Anchor Baby is at noon Pacific, Monday through Thursday. That's 2 Central, 3 Eastern. Figure it out if you're Mountain Time, because Mountain does Mountain Standard or Mountain Daylight, and we don't know. And then, of course, nice. That's out for today. And then tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, WOW HASSAN. Walking on Water Hassan. At Walking on Water Hassan. 2 S's. HASSAN. On YouTube. The JLP network is growing. Isn't that cool? Yes, it's cool. Yes, he will have a live show tomorrow. YouTube.com/@ Walking on Water Hassan /live. That's cool. Anyway, guys, this has been the Hake Report. I want to end on time today. Should I do that? I don't think I have time to do Fascination Street. I think it's a long song. So we will do what the song's about, okay? I thought about it, and given our time constraints, I say no. We'll do Fascination Street, maybe tomorrow, okay? It's a cover song of The Cure by Stavesacre, but this is a Christian song called What the Song's About by Left Out. I grew up on Christian music, so I didn't know that this sounded like Bob Dylan and other mess, punk rock or stuff like that. I'm like, cool. Left Out, 1999 album for the working class. Yeah, I was like 18 already. I hope you enjoy it, you musical Philistines. Make sure you catch JoelFridayTV, youtube.com/@ JoelFridayTV /live for his show coming up soon. What this song's about. It's a Christian punk rock song, sort of, by Left Out. Adios, America. Bye.
Who paid our debts? There's more to me than just singing this song. I hope there's more to you.